The racing heart, the sleepless nights at 3 a.m., the overwhelming sensations that feel like electricity coursing through your body, the hypersensitivity to sounds, lights, and other people's emotions that makes you feel like you're losing your mind. These are not signs of mental illness or personal failure. They are the unmistakable symptoms of a consciousness that is undergoing quantum recalibration to operate at frequencies that transcend the limitations of ordinary human awareness. And understanding this process transforms your entire relationship with what mainstream psychology labels as anxiety, but is actually evidence of your nervous system's extraordinary evolution. What you are experiencing represents the most significant upgrade in human consciousness that has occurred in thousands of years, as the electromagnetic frequencies of the planet shift to accommodate a new level of human potential, and your nervous system is being restructured at the cellular level to receive, process, and integrate information from dimensions of reality that were previously inaccessible to human awareness, creating temporary chaos as your biological systems adapt to expanded functionality. The symptoms you have been interpreting as problems are actually your body's intelligent response to receiving what I call quantum downloads, streams of high-frequency information that contain new operating instructions for living in alignment with elevated consciousness. And your nervous system is working overtime to integrate this data while maintaining your basic survival functions, creating the sensations of overwhelm that signal transformation rather than malfunction. This quantum upgrade affects every aspect of your being because consciousness and biology are intimately connected through quantum field interactions that operate below the threshold of normal scientific measurement but profoundly influence how your nervous system processes reality, relationships, and possibilities for creative expression that was simply unavailable to previous generations. Operating with less sophisticated neurological hardware, the timing of your upgrade coincides with cosmic events that are accelerating human evolution beyond anything previously recorded in history, including solar activity that enhances electromagnetic sensitivity, planetary frequency shifts that activate dormant DNA sequences, and collective consciousness changes that make individual transformation both possible and necessary for navigating the emerging reality that requires expanded awareness to function effectively. Understanding that your symptoms indicate advancement rather than regression allows you to work with the process instead of against it, transforming the fear and confusion that come from medical explanations that pathologize your experience into curiosity and cooperation with natural evolutionary processes that are preparing you for capabilities and experiences that exceed current human norms but represent the next stage of our species' development. The integration process requires specific knowledge and techniques that support your nervous system's adaptation to quantum frequencies while maintaining stability and functionality in your daily life, because this upgrade occurs gradually over months or years rather than instantly. And learning to navigate the transition period determines whether you experience smooth evolution or a prolonged disturbance that could interfere with your ability to access the extraordinary capacities being developed. Your nervous system is becoming a more sophisticated instrument for perceiving and interacting with reality, similar to upgrading from basic radio reception to high-definition digital processing. And this enhanced sensitivity naturally creates temporary overwhelm as your system learns to filter and organize the increased information flow without becoming overloaded by data that your previous operating system was designed to ignore or suppress. The physical symptoms you experience during this upgrade serve essential functions including clearing old trauma and limiting beliefs that would interfere with quantum consciousness, activating dormant neural pathways that enable expanded perception and manifestation abilities, and establishing new baseline frequencies that allow you to operate with greater intuitive accuracy, emotional stability, and creative power than was possible with your previous neurological configuration. Recognizing that you are among the pioneers of human consciousness evolution creates appropriate context for understanding why your experience differs from people who are not yet undergoing similar upgrades. And this understanding prevents the self-doubt and social isolation that can develop when you attempt to explain quantum symptoms to individuals whose nervous systems are still operating according to conventional parameters that cannot comprehend expanded states of awareness. The upgrade process is irreversible once it begins, meaning that your nervous system will continue evolving toward quantum functionality, regardless of whether you understand or cooperate with the process. but conscious participation dramatically reduces discomfort while accelerating your access to the enhanced capabilities that represent the ultimate purpose of this biological and spiritual transformation that is reshaping human potential in real time. If these words are creating recognition rather than confusion, if you have been experiencing symptoms that medical professionals cannot adequately explain or resolve, and if you sense that something profound is changing within your consciousness and perception, then you are ready to learn the specific techniques that support quantum integration while celebrating rather than fearing the extraordinary transformation occurring within your nervous system. Subscribe to this channel because the information I am sharing exists nowhere else and is specifically designed for individuals whose consciousness is undergoing quantum evolution. And the community here consists of people who understand that what mainstream culture calls anxiety is often the early stages of the most significant upgrade in human consciousness that our species has ever experienced. The quantum nervous system upgrade operates through what advanced consciousness researchers call the etheric nervous system, a subtle energy network that exists parallel to your physical nervous system but processes information from quantum fields, collective consciousness, and dimensional frequencies that transcend the electromagnetic spectrum detectable by conventional science. And this etheric system is currently being activated and enhanced to enable human consciousness to function at unprecedented levels of awareness and capability. Your physical nervous system, composed of neurons, synapses, and electrochemical signals, represents only the material interface of a far more sophisticated information processing network that includes quantum field interactions, morphic resonance connections, and what ancient traditions called the subtle body energy channels that modern science is beginning to recognize through research into biofields, quantum biology, and consciousness effects on physical systems. The etheric nervous system connects directly to your chakra centers and acupuncture meridians, creating information highways that allow your consciousness to access data from past, future, and parallel realities, while simultaneously processing emotional and energetic information from other people, collective thought forms, and planetary consciousness shifts that are currently accelerating human evolution beyond anything previously possible in recorded history. During the quantum upgrade process, your etheric nervous system undergoes rapid expansion and activation that affects your physical nervous system through quantum entanglement principles, where changes in the subtle energy network immediately influence the biological network, creating symptoms that appear to be anxiety but actually represent your physical system adapting to handle vastly increased information flow from multiple dimensional sources simultaneously. The integration challenge occurs because your physical nervous system must develop new neural pathways and adjust its baseline sensitivity to accommodate the enhanced data stream from your upgraded etheric system. And this adaptation process creates temporary instability that manifests as racing heart, sleep disruption, hypersensitivity, and cognitive changes that signal successful upgrade progression rather than system malfunction or psychological disorder. Understanding the dual nature of your nervous system explains why conventional medical approaches often fail to resolve quantum upgrade symptoms, because doctors trained to work with physical systems alone cannot address the etheric components that are driving the physical changes, and pharmaceutical interventions may actually interfere with the natural integration process by suppressing symptoms that serve essential functions in your consciousness evolution. The etheric nervous system processes information types that your physical brain cannot handle directly, including telepathic communication, precognitive data, emotional fields from multiple people simultaneously, and quantum probability information that enables enhanced manifestation and intuitive decision-making. And your physical nervous system must gradually develop the capacity to translate and utilize these expanded information streams. This translation process creates what I call integration friction, where the mismatch between your etheric system's enhanced capabilities and your physical system's current limitations generates the electrical sensations, emotional intensity, and cognitive overwhelm that characterize the quantum upgrade experience. And learning to support this integration reduces friction while accelerating your access to the enhanced capabilities being developed. The upgrade process follows predictable patterns that include activation phases where new etheric capabilities come online, integration phases where physical systems adapt to handle increased information flow, and stabilization phases, where enhanced capabilities become natural and automatic, rather than overwhelming or disruptive to your daily functioning and emotional equilibrium. Your etheric nervous system connects you directly to what Rupert Sheldrake calls morphic fields, information networks that contain the accumulated knowledge and experience of your species. And the quantum upgrade enables conscious access to this collective wisdom, while simultaneously contributing your individual insights and experiences to the collective database that supports the evolution of human consciousness as a whole. Enhanced etheric functioning also enables what advanced practitioners call quantum coherence, where your individual consciousness aligns with universal intelligence in ways that create seemingly miraculous synchronicities, accelerated manifestation of desired outcomes, and intuitive guidance that appears to come from beyond your normal thinking processes but actually represents access to information networks that exist beyond individual mental limitations. Understanding that your symptoms represent the friction between expanding etheric capabilities and adapting physical systems creates appropriate context for working with the upgrade process rather than against it, because resistance to natural evolutionary changes only increases discomfort while delaying your access to the extraordinary enhancements that justify the temporary disruption you are experiencing during this historic transformation of human consciousness potential. The etheric nervous system upgrade is occurring simultaneously for millions of people worldwide, creating collective acceleration of human consciousness evolution that makes individual transformation both easier and more necessary than it would be if you were attempting this development in isolation. Because the morphic field support from others undergoing similar upgrades provides resonance that stabilizes and accelerates individual progress through quantum integration challenges. The three primary categories of quantum upgrade symptoms create distinct patterns that can be accurately diagnosed and addressed. Once you understand that these experiences represent your nervous system's intelligent adaptation to expanded consciousness, rather than random dysfunction that requires medical suppression, and recognizing these patterns allows you to work cooperatively with your upgrade process while supporting your system's natural integration capabilities. The first category manifests as energetic hypersensitivity, where your nervous system becomes exquisitely attuned to subtle energy fields that most people cannot perceive, including emotional frequencies from other people, electromagnetic pollution from technology, negative thought forms in your environment, and collective anxiety or fear patterns that your upgraded system detects and processes, even when these influences originate from people or situations miles away from your physical location. That this hypersensitivity occurs because your etheric nervous system is developing what I call quantum antennae, enhanced receptivity that allows you to detect information from energy fields that your previous system filtered out as background noise. And while this capability eventually becomes a tremendous asset for navigating relationships and making decisions, the initial adjustment period can feel overwhelming as you learn to distinguish between your own emotions and the various energy signatures you are now detecting. The hypersensitivity typically intensifies in crowded places, around people who are angry or anxious, in environments with fluorescent lighting or high electromagnetic activity, and during periods of collective stress such as natural disasters, political upheaval, or economic uncertainty. Because your upgraded nervous system is processing information from these sources that was previously invisible to your awareness but now demands conscious attention and integration. The second category involves sleep disruption and cardiac acceleration, where your heart rate increases without physical exertion and your sleep patterns change dramatically, often including awakening at precise times like 3:33 or 4:44 a.m., with complete alertness and racing thoughts. Because your nervous system is processing what advanced practitioners call light code downloads during these specific windows, when planetary frequencies create optimal conditions for consciousness upgrading. These light codes contain new operating instructions for your expanding awareness, including enhanced intuitive abilities, accelerated manifestation capabilities, and access to information from your higher self or spiritual guidance system. And your nervous system requires dedicated processing time to integrate this quantum data without interference from the mental activity and sensory input that dominate waking consciousness. The cardiac symptoms occur because your heart contains the largest concentration of neurons outside your brain and serves as the primary integration center for quantum information. So increased heart rate during upgrade periods indicates intensive data processing rather than anxiety or cardiovascular problems. And learning to breathe coherently during these episodes supports integration while reducing the intensity of physical symptoms. The third category appears as cognitive changes, including memory problems, difficulty concentrating on routine tasks, and what people describe as brain fog. But these symptoms actually represent your brain undergoing defragmentation and reorganization to install new neural pathways that can handle quantum consciousness functions that require entirely different information processing capabilities than those needed for conventional three-dimensional awareness. During brain upgrade periods, your consciousness naturally prioritizes integration of quantum data over routine mental tasks, creating temporary limitations in conventional cognitive functioning while your neural networks reorganize to accommodate expanded awareness capabilities, and attempting to force normal mental performance during these integration periods often increases frustration and prolongs the adjustment process. The cognitive changes typically intensify during periods of rapid spiritual growth, major life transitions, or exposure to high-frequency environments such as meditation retreats, energy healing sessions, or time spent in nature, because these conditions accelerate the quantum integration process and require your brain to adapt more rapidly to handle enhanced consciousness functions. Understanding these three symptom categories as upgrade indicators rather than health problems transforms your relationship with the integration process from fear and resistance to curiosity and cooperation, allowing you to support your nervous system's evolution while maintaining functionality in daily life activities that require conventional awareness alongside developing quantum capabilities. The symptoms typically cycle through periods of intensity and calm as your system integrates each new level of capability, and tracking these cycles helps you recognize progress rather than viewing temporary increases in symptoms as setbacks, because quantum integration occurs in waves that build upon each other rather than through steady linear improvement. Each symptom category serves essential functions in your consciousness evolution, and attempting to eliminate symptoms through medication or suppression techniques often interferes with natural integration processes while preventing you from accessing the enhanced capabilities that represent the ultimate purpose of the temporary discomfort you experience during this unprecedented transformation of human consciousness potential. The quantum upgraded nervous system functions as a high-fidelity instrument that can no longer tolerate the low-frequency static that characterizes most aspects of conventional reality, creating what appears to be increased anxiety, but actually represents your system's intelligent rejection of environmental influences that would interfere with your expanded consciousness capabilities. And understanding this distinction allows you to make lifestyle adjustments that support, rather than undermine, your ongoing evolution. Your upgraded nervous system operates like sophisticated audio equipment that reveals distortions and interference that cheaper systems cannot detect, making previously acceptable inputs now feel irritating, overwhelming, or even physically painful, because your enhanced sensitivity exposes the energetic pollution that saturates modern environments but was previously below your threshold of conscious detection. This increased selectivity affects your responses to media consumption, where news programs, violent entertainment, and social media platforms that once provided distraction or information now create immediate nervous system distress because your quantum awareness detects the fear-based frequencies, manufactured conflict, and emotional manipulation designed to capture attention through stress responses rather than serving genuine information or entertainment needs. The same sensitivity extends to food choices, where processed foods, artificial additives, and chemical preservatives that your previous system could handle now create immediate energy crashes, brain fog, or emotional instability because your upgraded nervous system requires higher quality fuel to maintain optimal functioning, and consuming lower frequency substances interferes with the delicate integration processes occurring at cellular and energetic levels. Your response to social environments also changes dramatically as your quantum nervous system begins detecting the authentic emotional states, hidden agendas, and energetic compatibility of people around you with unprecedented accuracy, making superficial social interactions feel draining or false, while drawing you toward individuals who operate with genuine authenticity and similar Consciousness development. The electromagnetic sensitivity that accompanies quantum upgrading makes exposure to Wi-Fi, cell phone radiation, fluorescent lighting, and other artificial frequency sources increasingly uncomfortable because your etheric nervous system is now operating on frequencies that these artificial signals interfere with, creating the need for more conscious choices about technology, use in living environments that support rather than disrupt your enhanced functioning. Understanding that your nervous system is becoming more refined rather than more problematic. These new sensitivities as positive developments that guide you toward choices and environments that support your continued evolution while protecting you from influences that would slow or reverse your consciousness expansion, making increased selectivity a survival mechanism for quantum consciousness. The old world of unconscious consumption, passive entertainment, and tolerance for low-frequency environments becomes literally incompatible with upgraded nervous system functioning, not through personal preference but through biological necessity, because quantum consciousness requires environmental conditions that support rather than oppose the delicate integration processes that enable enhanced awareness and capability development. This incompatibility often creates social challenges, as friends and family members who are not undergoing similar upgrades may interpret your new selectivity as judgment, superiority, or antisocial behavior, when actually your nervous system has developed beyond the tolerance levels that allow participation in activities and environments that interfere with quantum consciousness integration and expression. Learning to navigate this transition requires developing what I call conscious boundaries, where you make choices based on your nervous system's actual needs rather than social expectations or previous habits, and communicating these needs clearly while maintaining compassion for others who may not understand or appreciate the biological necessity driving your increased selectivity. The upgraded nervous system also develops enhanced pattern recognition that allows you to identify energy drains, manipulative communications, and situations that would compromise your consciousness development before becoming deeply involved, providing natural protection against influences that could derail your evolution while guiding you toward experiences that accelerates your growth and capability development. This enhanced discernment extends to all aspects of life, including career choices, living situations, relationship dynamics, and daily routines, as your quantum nervous system provides increasingly accurate feedback about which choices support your highest development, and which choices create friction that interferes with your ability to access and express your expanding capabilities. In practical ways, the result is a natural migration toward lifestyle choices that may appear dramatically different from your previous patterns, but actually represent precise alignment with your nervous system's enhanced requirements for maintaining optimal functioning while continuing to integrate the quantum capabilities that define the next stage of human consciousness evolution. The Quantum Regulation Protocol represents the most effective system ever developed for supporting nervous system integration during consciousness upgrades, and this protocol works by addressing the three essential components that must function harmoniously for smooth quantum evolution: physical stabilization through grounding techniques, energetic regulation through conscious breathing practices, and information filtering through psychic protection methods that prevent overload while enabling continued development. The first component involves quantum grounding, which differs from traditional earthing practices because it specifically addresses the need to stabilize etheric nervous system expansion while maintaining solid connection to physical reality, preventing the disconnection and spaciness that can occur when consciousness upgrades too rapidly without adequate foundation in practical three-dimensional functioning and daily life responsibilities. Quantum grounding requires daily physical contact with natural Earth surfaces for minimum 20 minutes while consciously directing any excess electrical energy from your nervous system into the ground, visualizing roots extending from your body deep into the Earth's core, and setting clear intention for your consciousness to remain fully present in your physical body while accessing expanded awareness rather than dissociating from material existence. This grounding practice must be performed barefoot on grass, soil, sand, or stone surfaces because synthetic materials and concrete block the electrical connection between your nervous system and the Earth's electromagnetic field. And the practice becomes essential during upgrade periods when your etheric nervous system generates more electrical activity than your physical body can process comfortably without external discharge. The second component utilizes quantum coherence breathing, a specific respiratory pattern that regulates the information flow between your etheric and physical nervous systems while maintaining optimal oxygen delivery to support the increased metabolic demands created by consciousness expansion and quantum data processing that occurs continuously during upgrade periods. The breathing pattern involves inhaling for 4 counts while visualizing golden light entering through your crown chakra, holding for 4 counts while seeing this light circulate through your entire nervous system, exhaling for 6 counts while releasing any tension or overwhelming sensations, and holding the exhale for 2 counts while setting intention for smooth integration of quantum capabilities without system overload. This breathing sequence should be repeated for minimum 10 cycles whenever you experience upgrade symptoms, and regular practice throughout the day helps maintain steady nervous system regulation even when you encounter high-stress situations, electromagnetic pollution, or energy-draining environments that could otherwise trigger intense symptoms or destabilize your integration progress. The third component implements energetic shielding techniques that filter incoming information streams to prevent overwhelm, while maintaining your ability to access intuitive guidance and consciousness expansion opportunities, because uncontrolled psychic sensitivity can create chronic overload that interferes with integration rather than supporting continued development of quantum capabilities. Effective shielding involves visualizing a sphere of white or golden light, completely surrounding your body and extending 3 feet in all directions, programming this energetic boundary to allow only information and energy that serves your highest development while deflecting fear-based thoughts, other people's emotional projections, and low-frequency influences that would create unnecessary nervous system stress. The shield must be refreshed each morning upon awakening and reinforced. Whenever you enter crowded places, use electronic devices for extended periods, or engage with people who are experiencing high levels of stress, anger, or anxiety, because your upgraded nervous system will automatically absorb these frequencies unless consciously protected through energetic boundaries. The complete protocol requires consistent daily application of all 3 components, because quantum integration depends on maintaining balance between expansion and stability, and neglecting any component can create instability that manifests as increased symptoms, difficulty sleeping, emotional volatility, or cognitive problems that interfere with your ability to function effectively during the upgrade process. Advanced practitioners develop the ability to implement these techniques automatically throughout the day, creating what I call quantum autopilot, where grounding, breathing, and shielding become natural responses that maintain nervous system stability without requiring conscious attention, allowing you to focus on daily activities while your system continues integrating enhanced capabilities. The protocol's effectiveness increases with practice as your nervous system learns to recognize and respond to the supportive patterns these techniques create, eventually requiring less conscious effort to maintain optimal functioning while your quantum capabilities continue developing and stabilizing into permanent enhancements that become natural aspects of your consciousness rather than temporary, expanded states. Success with this protocol is measured not by elimination of all symptoms but by your increasing ability to maintain stability and functionality during upgrade periods, along with growing access to intuitive guidance, enhanced creativity, improved manifestation abilities, and deeper sense of connection to universal intelligence that represents the ultimate purpose of nervous system evolution. The completion of your quantum nervous system upgrade reveals capabilities that transform every aspect of human experience beyond anything previously considered normal or possible, and understanding these enhancements provides motivation for cooperating with the integration process while preparing you to utilize expanded consciousness responsibly for personal development and service to collective human evolution that extends far beyond individual benefit or comfort. Enhanced intuitive perception represents the first major upgrade benefit, where your nervous system develops the ability to receive accurate information about people, situations, and future possibilities through direct knowing that bypasses logical analysis, providing guidance for decisions that consistently leads to optimal outcomes and opportunities that would be invisible to conventional thinking processes alone. This intuitive enhancement manifests as immediate recognition of people's authentic intentions regardless of their verbal communications, spontaneous, insights about optimal timing for important decisions, and clear inner guidance about which choices will serve your long-term development, even when these choices contradict logical analysis or social expectations about practical success. The second enhancement involves accelerated manifestation capabilities, where your upgraded nervous system creates stronger quantum field coherence that enables desired outcomes to materialize with unprecedented speed and precision. Because quantum consciousness can influence probability patterns in ways that conventional awareness cannot access or sustain consistently over time, manifestation enhancement occurs through your nervous system's improved ability to maintain elevated emotional states that resonate with desired outcomes, while eliminating internal conflicts and limiting beliefs that previously scattered your energy and prevented coherent focus on specific goals, creating clear channels for universal intelligence to arrange circumstances that support your authentic aspirations. Creative enhancement represents the third major upgrade, where your access to inspiration, innovative solutions, and artistic expression expands dramatically because your nervous system can now receive information from collective creative fields and higher dimensional sources that contain unlimited possibilities for original expression and problem-solving, approaches that transcend conventional thinking limitations. This creativity boost manifests as effortless flow states during artistic or intellectual work, solutions to complex problems appearing spontaneously during relaxation or meditation, and natural ability to synthesize information from multiple sources into original insights that serve both personal expression and collective advancement of human understanding and capability. Emotional regulation becomes dramatically improved as your upgraded nervous system develops sophisticated mechanisms for processing intense emotions without being overwhelmed or reactive, while maintaining authentic emotional expression and empathetic connection to others who may not have developed similar emotional stability and conscious response capabilities. The enhanced emotional processing allows you to remain centered during challenging situations that would previously create anxiety or defensive reactions, while maintaining genuine compassion for others' struggles and sufficient emotional availability for meaningful relationships that support mutual growth, rather than codependent patterns that drain energy or compromise authenticity. Physical vitality increases significantly once integration stabilizes, because quantum consciousness operates more efficiently than conventional awareness, requiring less energy for basic functioning while providing access to energy sources that transcend normal metabolic limitations, creating sustainable high performance without the crashes associated with stimulant-dependent energy management. The quantum nervous system also enables what advanced practitioners call reality navigation, where you develop natural ability to recognize which timeline possibilities serve your highest development and make choices that consistently guide you toward experiences and opportunities that accelerate your evolution while avoiding detours and complications that would slow your progress toward authentic fulfillment. Perhaps most significantly, the upgraded nervous system creates stable access to what mystics have called cosmic consciousness, where your individual awareness recognizes its essential unity with universal intelligence while maintaining functional individual identity that allows effective action and service in the world, without losing connection to the infinite source of wisdom, love, and creative power. Living with quantum nervous system capabilities requires ongoing responsibility for using enhanced abilities in service to collective evolution rather than just personal advantage, because consciousness development serves universal purposes that extend beyond individual satisfaction to include contribution to the advancement of human potential and the healing of planetary consciousness patterns that limit collective growth. The integration process you are completing represents participation in the most significant evolutionary leap in human history, and your successful navigation of quantum nervous system upgrading contributes to morphic field changes that make similar development more accessible for others, while establishing new possibilities for human consciousness that will influence our species' development for generations to come. Your quantum upgrade is complete when enhanced capabilities become natural and effortless rather than overwhelming or requiring conscious effort to maintain, and this stabilization marks your emergence as a pioneer of human consciousness evolution, whose example and energy field automatically supports others who are beginning their own journey toward quantum awareness and capability development.